What's going on, Laker family? It's Chris. I just want to drop a video on the young core. I want to break down each individual player. I want to talk about their game. I want to talk about some of their strengths, their weaknesses, what they need to improve on, and just what kind of role I think they'll play in Luke's offense. Um, and I want to start off with the old head of the group, Jordan Clarkson. He's 24 years old. He's the oldest of the young core. Just signed a brand new contract. He's a second round draft pick. Looks like he might be the steal of the draft. So it was a great job by our scouting department of recognizing his talents and making a move to get him on draft day because we acquired him via trade. If some of you didn't know that, but Jordan Clarkson, man, I like what I see from him so far in his young NBA career. He's going into his third season. I've said time and time again that his game, just watching him play and just how he operates on the court, he just really reminds me of Monte Ellis, who I was a big fan of when he first came out of high school. I thought he was going to be. I mean, he's not a bad player, but I thought Monte Ellis was going to be a real special player in the league. But he has some other issues with his game that he never really sharpened. So that's why he didn't, become the all-star that I thought he was going to be. But anyway, Jordan, I think, is real similar to him as far as his game. That doesn't mean people get upset when I say that, like, oh no, Jordan Clarkson's going to be a superstar. Just because I think their games are similar, that doesn't mean he can't become a superstar. Like I said, there's Monte Ellis is a baller, but there's reasons why he's not a superstar. Okay, Jordan Clarkson can be that same type of player and still be a superstar in this league. Okay, so that doesn't mean that. I'm not trying to play him when I say that. That's a compliment because, like I said, Monte Ellis is a baller. He has game. Um, but Jordan, to me, his strength is his athleticism and his ability to penetrate the defense, his ability to attack the basket. For me, that's his number one um, skill right now. His shooting is progressing. Last year he shot it around 34%. This year, um, I'm hoping he ups it to maybe 37, 38%. Ideally, I want it at 40%. But that's asking a little too much in one season to make that kind of jump. So realistically, I can see him, upping his 3-point percentage to 37, 38%. But his main thing, I want to see from him is on the defensive end. Of course, all of our young guys, all of them have a lot of work to do on the defensive end. But like I said, I'm talking about him individually right now. So his defense, I think, is the main thing. Uh, and it's not that he can't do it, that he can't be a good defender because he's too athletic of a guard to not be a better defender than he is. I think it's just a matter of him putting his mind to doing it and just locking in and taking pride in not letting his man get buckets on him. That's it. Just effort. I think that's what it's about. It's about effort. Understanding how to play defense within the system, within the team system, knowing your rotations, where you need to be on the floor, little things like that. That comes with experience, watching film, and coaching. That's going to be important too. The coaching staff has to hold these guys accountable for playing defense. But individually, you should take pride in not letting your man score on you. It's that simple. But I think I think he has the potential to be a good defender. But he just got to want to do it. But for me, a lot of people are upset that Jordan's not playing point guard. We have D'Angelo at point guard, and a lot of people are upset at that. But to me, it really doesn't matter. Which guy plays which position. I think either one can play either position and be just as effective. Um, and this is the era of positionless basketball, and we're going into an offense where it's going to be a motion offense. I don't think one guy is going to really dominate the ball. We're going to share the ball. That's what I'm hoping to see. That's what Luke wants to do. So that's what I want to see. We're going to be sharing the ball a lot. It's not going to be so ball dominant like everybody thinks it's going to be. If anything, D'Angelo might have the ball running some pick and rolls a lot, but I think the ball will be moving. I don't think it'll be a stagnant type of offense like we had last year. So everybody's gonna get to touch the rock. So and the ball movement and everything, and the player movement, everybody's gonna get a chance to highlight what they can do as a passer and everybody's gonna, it's gonna be a collective effort as far as facilitating the basketball. So it doesn't really matter who our point guard is. Hell, we can have Julius Randle at point guard if we wanted to, but yeah, man, I don't think we should get caught up in that, like who's playing what position, because it really doesn't matter. But Jordan, if he works on, I say he's Monte Ellis. That's right now. If he doesn't improve any more than he already has, he can already be Monte Ellis. I've said that before. But if he really improves his all-around game, like all the aspects of his game, defense, uh, ball handling, facilitating, rebounding, if he develops a little post game, I can see him being a poor man's Dwayne Wade. So if he can be anywhere in between those two players, Monte Ellis and D Wade, I'll say that's a pretty good deal for us. But yeah, man, I really like Jordan, man. He's hungry. He's a hard worker. We could see him this summer, putting in tireless work, on his game, trying to improve his jump shot, working on his body. He already looks bigger and stronger. Him and D'Angelo both, man. Them boys been in the weight room, man. Yeah, that's a plus. We're gonna see the impact of them being in that weight room next season. But yeah, man, that's what I think about Jordan. And I think in this offense, we're trying to run a Golden State style of offense. So him improving that three-point shot is going to be very important, because if he's going to be a shooting guard, and more than likely he's going to be, I'm not calling him Klay Thompson, but he's going to be in that Klay Thompson role, when his shot has got to be. It doesn't have to be Klay Thompson. It'll never be on that level, but I think 37, 38, and then eventually, up it to 40%. I think that'll be, more than what we need. But yeah, man, I like JC. Um, Julius Randle, he's a beast, no doubt. But to me, just looking at his game and his potential, he's the biggest mystery, man. Because it's like, if it's certain little things to his game that if he doesn't figure out, then he might not, he might just end up being, somebody that you bring off the bench and give you some hustle and energy. Because it's really some issues, um, with his game that really concerns me. But I'm gonna start off with some of the good things that I see from Julius Randle. Number one, his combination of size and quickness and strength uh, is is gonna be a problem in the league. His ability to his first step is so quick. Most guys his size is not gonna be able to defend that. So he already has that working in his favor. Um, it's just when he gets by you, he'll get by you with that first step. But it's after that, when he goes and tries to finish, man, it's like he tries to force it up too much. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know if he lacks just a feel for the game, or if he's just not that skilled when he goes to finish around the rim, or if it's his length. They say he has short arms. I don't know if it's because a lot of times it's like he struggles to get the shot up over longer defenders. He grunts every time he goes to the hole and tries to do a layup. He's, ooh, I mean, if you pay attention, you hear every time, ooh, ooh. He'll get by you and ooh, every time, and he always gets offensive fouls because he's out of control, or turnovers. So he's just gotta slow down, compose himself. I think, I'm not trying to clown him, but I think he should take some ballet classes or something. And he has to add some grace to his game, some finesse. I mean, he's got all the power in the world and physicality in the world, but you got to combine that with finesse. You can't muscle everybody. So that's what I want to see from him, and also his jump shot. That's going to be key too. Uh, that's going to because if he can knock down, I don't think he should be out there shooting threes just yet. But if he can start knocking down like the 15 to 18 footer, that'll do wonders for his game, man. Because I can see us giving him the ball in the high post and kind of letting him do his thing, where he can, if that shot's respectable, he can face up, and he has the option to shoot the ball if the defense gives him enough space. If they play him too close, he can penetrate to the basket, and that's where I think he needs to, instead of him trying to go finish up over the defenders, he needs to become a facilitator. Because if you notice, it's a lot like LeBron James. Whenever he goes to the hole aggressively, um, the defense they collapse. You'll see like two or three guys slide over to try to help, So that means you got open guys, and all he needs to do is find his teammates. And we're going to have shooters on the outside to be able to knock down shots. So I think that'll be highly effective. Um, but it's going to start with him being able to get, you know, him being able to hit that mid-range shot. The defense has to respect that shot. If not, they're just going to sag back and collapse the defense and dare him to shoot. A lot like you saw how teams played Ben Simmons in the summer league. That's what teams are going to do to Julius. So he's going to have to develop that outside shot. And like I said, I think he should be focus on being more of a facilitator whenever he attacks the rim, and hit his open teammates. Just a lot like Draymond. They're different players, but similar in that way. Where I think Julius, because he is a pretty underrated passer. I think he can pass the ball for a big man his size. So I think he needs to work on that aspect of his game rather than you know trying to be a scorer. And I think the offense it'll come to him. He'll get his points off pick and pop, pick and roll situations with D'Angelo. He'll find them, and just with the off ball movement and the playing within the system, he'll get his points that way. I don't think we should really run the offense to him, like through him, like just give the ball to him and say, Julius, get us buckets. I think we have other guys that can get buckets for us. Julius can just be, help facilitate the offense. And I love his ability to get it off the glass and go coast to coast with it. I love seeing that. That's fun to watch. That reminds me of if you guys watch Charles Barkley. I said it in the past that he reminds me of Charles a little bit. But if you guys watch Charles Barkley play, he used to do the exact same thing. He dominated the glass. He'll go coast to coast with it, finish at the rim. He can dish it a little bit. But Julius just has to work on that outside shot, um, which I don't think is broken by any means. He has a pretty decent looking shot. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of him getting comfortable with taking the shots and understanding his spots and just being more confident in himself with taking those shots. And it's just a matter of the coaching staff giving him freedom to do so and encouraging him to take those shots when he has it. Um, and defensively, just a lot like Jordan Clarkson, he's too athletic, too physical to not be a better defender. Now, I don't think Julius Randle will ever be a great shot blocker because, like I said, he lacks length. Um, so I don't think he'll ever be a great shot blocker, but he needs to always be in good position. He should never get caught out of position. Like if you watch Draymond, which Julius said he you know watches a lot of Draymond Green. I hope he's watching him defensively because Draymond understands. Like Draymond Green is not the most gifted athlete. I think Julius Randle's a better athlete than Draymond Green, and he's bigger. But Draymond is a great defender because he understands his position and he understands where he needs to be on the floor at all times. He understands when he needs to rotate, when he needs to help. He's just all over the place on defense. He's like a middle linebacker or something out there, man. Just dissecting the defense. And if Julius can work on that aspect of his game, get his defensive IQ up. That's what I want to see. I want to see him be that bully out there. All these guys just need to take pride in defense and not letting their man score on them. But yeah, man, that's it, man. He just needs to work on that offensively and defensively, and he'll be just fine. Um, D'Angelo Russell, there's been a lot of talks about him. Is he a point guard? Is he a shooting guard? Is he score first, or is he pass first, or can he even pass at all? Can he see the floor at all? So I'm gonna answer those questions. Uh, First, I want to start off with highlight some of his strengths, which obviously is his ability to score the ball. He can score from anywhere on the floor. Um, the outside shot, his shooting touch, I think is going to be something special. Um, his mid range, he can post you up. He can get inside and finish with those floaters, and he can get to the rim. Uh, so I mean, there's nothing really off as a scorer. There's really not much he can't do. He can score off the dribble from range. We've seen that. He can score off the dribble, like I said, the mid range. He can knock down tough shots with defenders draped over him. He's just he's a ruthless scorer. He's a ruthless scorer. So if you ask me if he's a score first point guard or a pass first point guard, I would say he's score first. I would say he score first. Now the question about, you know, does he have the court vision, the passing ability that everybody raved about when he came out? Because a lot of people, you know, I've said it before. A lot of people say they didn't see it last season, and I understand that. A lot of people just look at stats, and don't actually watch games and understand what's going on. Uh, if you just look at stats, he averaged 3.3 assists. I mean, that's a pretty low number for a guy who everyone says has elite court vision, and who's a savant passer. Uh, but it is reasons behind it. Last year we really didn't have a system. The games that Kobe played in, we just played iso ball. It was a stagnant offense. We came down court, got the ball to Kobe. Everybody stood around, watched Kobe. D'Angelo didn't have the ball in his hands a lot. Lou Williams had the ball in his hands. Kobe did. Clarkson did. D'Angelo, he really wasn't our point guard last year. He was more of a shooting guard. He didn't really run the offense. He did it in spurts, like when Kobe Bryant was out, or it was a stretch where Kobe and Lou was out, and Byron played the Princeton offense and Princeton motion offense, and you saw what D'Angelo could do then. I think he averaged close to 25 points a game, 5-6 assists. Um, so we saw glimpses of it, but we didn't see it through and through. We didn't see it. But like I said, there's reasons behind it. We had as a team, we had the worst field goal percentage in the league. Uh, so it's pretty hard to get assists if the ball's not going in the hoop. And that's just because of the stagnant offense. We really wasn't getting good shots up. If you notice, a lot of our shots were just bad shots taken late in the shot clock. Um, and Also Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant had the worst field goal percentage in the league as a player last year. And a lot of times when you pass Kobe the ball, it's a situation where you'll pass it to him and he's wide open, and he'll get the ball and just kind of hang out with it for a second, try to go and post guys up, and by that time, after I think like they've had the ball for like 2 or 3 seconds, it's no longer assists if they go score it. So I mean, it's just a hard. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses, but this is the reasons why. And this year, I think an emotion style offense, um, we're going to see not only D'Angelo's passing ability get highlighted, but everybody. Julius Randle, who I think is a pretty good passer, we're gonna see that highlighted. So I think everybody should just just give it some more time. Let them learn within the system, and once we start getting that ball flowing, we're gonna see some special stuff. I guarantee. Um, but yeah, man, he's definitely a scorer first, but he's going to be an elite scorer in the league. There's already no question about that. No questions about it. I mean, I understand the questions about his passing ability and his court vision. I understand that, but as a scorer, we can already see that he's going to be just fine as a scorer. But to me, his court vision and ability to pass the ball is on the same level, which makes him so dynamic offensively. Um, and what's up, buddy? Good morning. Welcome to the day. That's my son, guys. He's just waking up. It's like almost 1 o'clock. He's just waking up. He likes to stay up all night and watch movies and play his Xbox. All right, man. I'm dropping this video real quick. I'll holler at you in a second. All right. But he looking at me sideways like, why you talking about me? But anyway, yeah, man. D'Angelo, ruthless scorer, hell of a passer. His offensive game, he doesn't have many weaknesses. He can post you up, uh, shoot the long ball, the mid range. He can give it to you how you want it. But some things I want to see him work on. Obviously, number one is his defense. Um, he's a pretty solid on ball defender when he's engaged and when he's locked in. But there's a lot of times where he kind of falls asleep on defense, mainly off ball. He'll get caught ball watching, or I don't know what he's doing. Sometimes he'll let the guy cut back door on him, and I guess he just gets caught up watching watching the ball. So he's got to lock in on defense. But whenever he is locked in, I see him. I see him rotating to his spots. I see him using his length, keeping the defender in front of him without. He does a good job of not fouling most of the time when he's up on guys. So to me, it's just a focus thing, and he's got to get stronger. In the lower body, he needs to get stronger so guys won't bully him in the post and things like that. But that's going to come in time. Um, but I think all of these young guys, defensively, they just need to have a team meeting. Like one of those guys need to step up and just call a meeting and just talk about defense and just committing to that end of the floor. I think that's what it's going to take. It's just going to take commitment because all of them, all of those guys that I just mentioned have the ability to be solid defenders. But like I said, it's just a want to. You got to want to do it. You got to give a damn about playing defense, and you gotta take it to heart. When somebody scores on you, you got to take that to heart. So that's what I want to see. One of those guys just call a meeting and talk about defense. But D'Angelo, obviously, as a point guard, yes, he has court vision. Yes, he can make some special passes. He does a really good job of looking the defense off. You see a lot of those no-look passes, and some people think he's just doing it to be flashy. But no, when you do those no-look passes, man, that's like when you're a quarterback. If you guys understand football, when you're a quarterback, you can't just stare down your receiver. You got to look the defense off. You got to look off the free safety and things like that, to get your guy open. And that's why he does a lot of those no-look passes. He's looking the defenders off. So if you understand the game, you'll get that. He's just not trying to be flashy. He's actually trying to get his guys open. That's how you pass guys open, things like that. But we'll see more and more of that, like I said. But he does have to do a better job of just commanding the offense, just learning how to control the game, uh, making sure guys are in their spots. And we saw some strides. He took some strides in summer league. He became more vocal than we saw last year. You saw him out there directing and during timeout situations and dead ball situations. You saw him communicating with his teammates and just being an extension of the coach on the floor. And that's what being a point guard is really about. And he just has to learn, pick and choose when he needs to score the ball, when he needs to pass the ball. But that just comes with experience, and he has a good feel for the game. But you gotta understand, just how to. When you're a point guard, it's tough, man. You gotta please everybody, and at the same time, everybody has to understand their role. Like, hey, look, you're not a scorer. Hey, look, tonight's not your night. But that comes with being a point guard, and he's a young point guard, and all point guards, struggle in the beginning with that aspect of the game, being that floor general. So that'll come with time and coaching. So we just need to be patient on that. That's going to be the toughest part of the transition for D'Angelo. The point guard position is the hardest position to learn in the NBA. So it's going to take, of course, it's going to take him more time to learn his role than it's going to take some of the others. But he's a smart player, very high IQ. So I see him picking up on it quick, just based off his progression that we've seen already through the summer league. But yeah, man, I think D'Angelo is going to be, in Luke's offense. I think he's going to, obviously he's not Steph Curry, but he's going to be in that role a lot. Steph Curry was the point guard, but he wasn't ball dominant. Steph Curry ran off screens a lot. They got him open that way, and he made the passes when it was there, and he took his shots when he was there. And I think D'Angelo is, his scoring ability is very similar to Steph, except for D'Angelo has that post-up element to his game that Steph Curry doesn't have. So that might be something to watch out for. And D'Angelo also does, if you watch him throughout the season, and whenever he plays shooting guard, he did a good job of coming off screens and cutting to the basket and little things like that. So he understands how to move without the ball. So that's going to be important in Luke's motion offense too. So that's why I think he's really going to thrive in it. Him and Clarkson both coming off screens, and because both of them showed a lot of promise last year moving without the basketball. So that's what I'm ready to see, those two guys in this offense, because I think it's gonna help their games the most. So yeah, man, I love D'Lo, and I love the coaching staff for not only for D'Angelo, but not so much coaching staff, but the style of play. I think it plays so well to his skill set. But I think Brandon Ingram. I'm gonna talk about him in a second. I think he's gonna be phenomenal in this offense too, with his skill set. I haven't really watched enough of Brandon Ingram on the NBA level. Obviously, he only played a few summer league games, so I can't really break down his game like I can some of the other guys. But so I just got to go based off what I saw in college and in summer league. Uh, to me, a lot like D'Angelo, he is a ruthless scorer. He can get his shot at any time from anywhere on the floor. He can shoot the three ball mid range, get to the rim, post you up. All of the above. He can handle the ball. He can pass it a little bit. People talk about Ben Simmons and how he's 6'10" and he can handle the ball and pass it. Brandon Ingram is very underrated with that aspect of his game. Now he's not on Simmons level, with the court vision and the passing and all that, but he is a pretty good passer and he can handle the route. He's got some ball handling abilities. He's got some shake and bake to his game. So, I love that about him. And they say he could potentially still be growing. He might grow another inch or two, so that means he could be 6'10", 6'11", with that skill set. Man, he's gonna be a problem. A lot of people compare him to KD, and I see that. I see him being kind of a cross between KD and Anthony Davis. If those two guys had a baby, they would name him Brandon Ingram, in my opinion. And Ingram, uh, his defense, he might already be the best defender of the bunch of the four of Clarkson, D'Angelo, Randall. I think Brandon might be a better defender already than all those guys. His length, man, his length is just a problem. So I'm just interested to see how he's gonna handle it at the NBA level, given his weight right now. He's a little underweight, which is fine. He's only 18 years old, so his body's gonna grow and mature, over these next few years. But I don't think he needs to. I don't think he needs to panic and try to go put on a bunch of weight too fast, because I think that might cause injuries. That could throw his game off. He just needs to naturally let his body grow. In the meantime, he just needs to be in the weight room trying to get as strong as he possibly can, um, just so he can hold his own at this level. I don't think he's ever going to be like a physical specimen with just which you don't have to be a great basketball player. He just needs to, like I said, be able to hold his own and not get bullied. And from what I hear, he's pretty tough. He's stronger than he looks, and he can already hold his own at his size now. So, once he gets in the weight room, gets a little stronger, that's only going to get even better. But I think they're going to bring him along slowly in the offense. He's probably going to come off the bench. He has the skill set. If you guys saw Iguodala, what he did for the Warriors, offensively and defensively. He has that same skill set. He can do some of those same things. As a defender, obviously he's not, like I said, physical like Iguodala is yet, but um, he's gonna be a problem defensively. And his ability to pass the ball, like I said, is underrated. It's gonna do well in this offense, this motion offense, and his ability to knock down the three ball. He shot it from 40% from three at Duke. So he's a knockdown shooter from the outside, and like I said, he's a ruthless scorer. Um, so yeah, man, I love Bi. He's gonna be a nice player, man. I like his whole demeanor. He's got a quiet, laid back. I call him Slim Chiller. Because he's tall, lanky, skinny, and he's just got this little laid back. A lot of people say he always looks high, but he's just, that's just his face. But he just looks laid back and just always looks calm. So I call him Slim Chiller. But yeah, man, he's gonna be a nice player, man. I expect him and D'Angelo, which everybody should expect that because they were number 2 picks in the draft, and you don't go get guys with the second pick to not be franchise players. So everybody should expect those two guys to be our superstars or our franchise players, our cornerstones. Um, and I think they're gonna be our franchise players just because of their style of play. They are what the NBA is turning into, their skill sets. So I think they're gonna be those guys for us. But all 4 of those guys, man, have a lot of promise. I can't wait to see them develop together as a team. I don't know, I don't know if D'Angelo is going to be the franchise player. I don't know if Brandon Ingram is going to be the franchise player. It could be Jordan Clarkson. It could be Julius Randle. We never know. Um, but to me, it really doesn't matter, man, because I'm a Laker fan first. I'm a fan of the game first. And as long as we're winning, hanging banners, competing year in and year out, and just getting better and better, that's really all I care about at the end of the day, man. But I trust my basketball eye. I know the game. I play the game. I'm a hooper myself, so when I look at talent, I know what I see. And those two guys, trust and believe me when I tell you, those two guys are going to be special in this league. Um, but yeah, man, I like what we have going forward. Obviously, there's a lot to work on. Um, these guys just need to come together and just, you know, as a team, and just want to get better. Um, I want them to come out here this year and just don't be a team that's just an easy win every night. Make teams respect you. Make the NBA say, "Oh, okay, this young team, they for real." Like you saw Boston do last year, and I think we have better young talent than Boston did. But those guys, man, they did pretty good last year for them to be a young team under Coach Stevens, and I can see us doing that. Uh, even though we're in the West Coast, it's a much tougher conference, but I think the West Coast is slowly changing. The powers is slowly shifting. So, and we are on the rise, man. We are on the rise. We coming. So, watch out. Watch out. It's gonna take time though. It's gonna take time. But yeah, man, that's my thoughts. This is a long ass video. I apologize about that. I didn't expect that. I expected maybe 10 minutes, but when you start talking about individual players, I mean, I don't know. But yeah, man. If you guys watch the whole video, like, comment, subscribe, hate, dislike, do what you got to do. But if you watch this 30-minute video, then you probably liked it. So hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. And who's your favorite player? Who do you think is going to be the franchise player? Yeah, we can have our favorite players. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant was everybody's favorite player for a long time. You can have your favorite player on your favorite team. All right. My favorite player right now is probably going to be between D'Angelo and Ingram. So, yeah, who's your favorite player, guys? Yeah, hit me up.